Welcome to today's study. We are studying end time events. We are going to look at the Abomination of Desolation. For Jesus said, when you see this, you are to know something. He was quoting from Daniel chapter 9. So let's begin our study in reading Matthew chapter 24, verse 15 through 22. When he therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray he that your flight be not in winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. In reading in Mark chapter 13, verse 14 through 20, parallel passage to this. But when he shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee into the mountains. In both Matthew and Mark, Jesus speaks of a prophecy given by Daniel the prophet. Jesus said, when he shall see the abomination of desolation. So what is this abomination of desolation? Let's look at the prophecy of Daniel. Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 through 27 says, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city. There is a time period of 70 weeks where events and things will happen to Jerusalem and God's people. The time spoken of in Daniel chapter 9 verse 24 through 27 usually is understood as 70 weeks of years, or 490 years. The passage groups the weeks in three parts. 70 weeks, which will be 49 years, and 62 weeks, which will be 434 years, and 1 week, 7 years. The 49 years are relating to the rebuilding of Jerusalem in the times of trouble. The 434 years are relating to the time after the building of the temple to the cutting off of the Anointed One, referring to Jesus. The 7 years are associated with a period of time that a ruler arises and makes an agreement between him and Jerusalem, a peace agreement, which is violated in the middle of the 7 years. This is what Jesus was referring to when he said the abomination of desolation, this covenant of peace being broken, and this person who makes this agreement, which is referred to as the Antichrist in the New Testament, rises up and breaks this covenant. Now this last 7 years is divided into two equal parts. In Daniel chapter 9 verse 27 says, by a significant event. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 14 and Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1 and 7 says, time and times and a half of times. And in Revelation chapter 11 verse 2 and chapter 13 verse 5, 42 months. And in Revelation chapter 11 verse 3 and chapter 12 verse 6, 1,260 days. So this 7-year period is divided into two equal parts. And the last part is referred to in these different passages, this 3.5 year period of time.